Welcome back to Adaptation. In part 2 of our conversation with Hollywood movie producer Stephen Nemeth, we discuss Hunter S. Thompson, Richard Nixon, The Elephant Man, and why nobody in Hollywood knows what they're talking about.
I'm currently casting a movie called Nixon Hunter. It's my favorite Hunter piece ever written, by the way. It was for Parade magazine or Pageant magazine. I can't remember. I should know that, but it's one of the two. He was covering the 1968 Richard Nixon campaign. Nixon had previously been a vice president, but was now a civilian, so to speak. And Hunter was part of the press corps in New Hampshire. And he was bugging Pat Buchanan, who was Nixon's then press secretary, still alive, by the way, to get an interview with Richard Nixon. And they were all a little bit worried about, Hunter and Nixon together, until Nixon said, Pat, who do we have on the press corps that can make me, seem like a normal guy? Well, sir, there's this guy Thomson who knows a lot about football, and you know a lot about football. Great, get me Thomson. So Buchanan goes to Hunter's room, and he says, meet me in the lobby at 6 o'clock tomorrow. You've got 1 hour to interview Nixon in the car ride from the Holiday Inn in Manchester, New Hampshire, to the airstrip where he takes off. Do not talk about Vietnam. Talk about football. And of course, Hunter says, oh, yeah, of course. Right. Hunter, this is a true story, packs a Beretta, a loaded fucking gun, straps it to his ankle. And don't confuse me with a guy that likes guns. I am an anti-gun guy from the get-go. And so he straps a Beretta to his ankle. He takes a bunch of hits of acid, clearly drinking all night. He smokes a bunch of weed, and he gets into the car with Richard Nixon. The doors close, and it is 60 minutes of, obviously bookending the movie, of some of the most amazing, funny banter you can imagine. It's being cast right now. And then there is another Hunter Thompson movie we are writing, having written. The draft will be done shortly. It's called Hunter at Harvard. It's very much like what is the movie, the great movie with the kid on the road with the band?
Almost Famous?
Huh? Yes, Almost Famous. Yeah.
That's my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, it's so good.
I love your movies, but that movie.
Not only is it's brilliant, but also Cameron Crowe is a huge Hunter Thompson fan, by the way.
And that's that's basically his autobiography.
Yes, come to think of it, Cameron Crowe, if you're listening, I think you need to direct Hunter at Harvard. This is actually the story of the guy at Harvard who helped with, organizing the student at the time, getting Hunter to speak at Harvard. Picture the innocent kid, going to the airport to get Hunter, very excited. He was speaking to the law school at Harvard, and there were 200 students there. And he used the 2 hours not to enlighten them, not to talk to them about what, they wanted to hear, but to recruit them to defend him in his DUI ticket he'd recently gotten, weaving and sliding around the mountain roads with a top down in a Cadillac convertible in Aspen. He successfully recruited 100 of the 200 students, completely overwhelmed the system. They dropped the case. That was how he used 2 hours of a paid speaking gig. The good news about that story is it's the only one that is from the point of view of the kid and not Hunter.
So he wrote it from the point of view of the kid.
No, it's being adapted now. He didn't write the story. It is a story that happened.
Oh, interesting.
Adapting. That's also a big factor in adapting books. Sometimes you completely switch the point of view to make it more cinematic from something completely unintended by the author. I have to tell you one good Hollywood joke that everybody needs to hear, because it's so bloody true, and it actually sort of is relevant to what you were asking about in terms of, what do you look for, blah, 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 blah. Screenwriter calls his agent and says, have you read my screenplay? And the agent says, yep. And the screenwriter says, so, well, what'd you think? The agent says, I don't know. He said, what do you mean you don't know? He said, well, I'm the only one that's read it. So we're in a business where nobody can have an opinion or nobody has the courage to voice an opinion until they hear somebody else's opinion.
So to that point, my latest book is fiction, and it takes place in 1989 to 1993. And comments that I get back are, we love the writing, we love this story, but we really have trouble with 90s era stories, either getting them published or adapting them for film and TV. People say that all the time about things until something's made in that era or with that theme or with that actor, and then everybody does it, right? Everybody starts doing Jane Austen adaptations when before everybody was like, are you fucking crazy? It's too much money. Nobody cares. And it's so frustrating that there's this fear to go out on a limb, but there are people, obviously, like, how does that happen? There are these people that go out on these limbs because they really believe in these projects, and then they become famous, and then everybody's doing them.
Well, those are the people we look up to. Those are the people that make the business interesting. Those are the risk takers, the trendsetters, the trailblazers. We always hear, oh God, no, definitely no more Westerns. Oh, 3:10 to Yuma, or the one with all the handsome boys on horseback. How about Transparent as a television show? You think somebody would have done that? No fucking way. But she did it, and she fucking deserves credit for it. I think anybody that's listening to this, just fucking get the courage to do stuff. It's really exciting.
Also find the community to support you doing that. And I don't mean support monetarily or even just like to jump on as a PA. I mean, psychologically, it's a big deal to find a community of other creators who are of the same mind, who aren't just going to let the constant barrage of passes get you down and stop believing in whatever it is that you believe in.
Apropos of just believing in the power of your convictions, there are two movies. One was an adaptation of a book, which we left out, that are brilliant examples of movies that just got made and owned themselves. Freaks, not being, I think in 1939, the Todd Browning movie Freaks.
I don't know it.
Oh, you're going to see it tonight, and you're going to get back to me, and you're going to say, oh my fucking God. It's a book about carnival, I hate the word carnival freaks, but that's what they were referred to as. Special people. It's about carnival freaks on the road, and Todd Browning used real carnival freaks in the most incredible performances I've ever seen. People that weren't even considered human beings, they're considered freaks. And he used them as the leads in this movie, and it is in the best sense, it is a revenge story. That it's just fucking, and a love story, by the way. Heartbreaking and remarkable. I haven't told you about my second favorite movie of all time.
Okay, do it.
It's an adaptation of a book. But first, I want everybody to Google Adam Pearson. A-D-A-M, Adam Pearson, Pearson. He is going to play John Merrick in The Elephant Man. He is the most brilliant actor I've ever experienced. Charming, irreverent, funny, an incredible guy who has a specific facial abnormality that you don't even see. He's so damn fucking charming and incredible, and he's gonna kill it as John Merrick in Elephant Man. And I gotta say, I'm as excited about that as I've ever been about anything, and it's exciting as hell. So that I just needed to give a shout out. The other movie that's my second favorite movie of all time, an adaptation of a book that was the only book written by this particular authoress. Let you guess.
What's happening with your
authoress? Is there a
author?
Author, but they used to be a feminine.
Oh, lady of the literature.
Yeah.
Hausfrau of the book. I don't know. We could just say author.
Well, the author.
Writer.
Yeah, the writer. Anyhow, To Kill a Mockingbird is a movie that is as good as the book, maybe better, and it rarely happens. A movie made in 1961 that addressed single parenting from a man's point of view, mental illness in the, in and around the Boo Radley character played by Duvall. I mean, just so many topics that were taboo, basically, in 61, addressed elegantly, seamlessly, organically, and maybe tied for my first favorite film of all time with Freaks. I'm just sort of going back to that moment where you said, well, what, things just don't get made. The 90s movies don't get made. Well, movies like that wouldn't get made in 61, but it did.
Lately, I find myself thinking a lot back to COVID when it seemed so impossible to go about your daily life, especially in the beginning when nobody knew what the fuck was happening and everything was so terrifying, but you still had to find these moments to find joy.
Community. By the way, I live in the Hollywood Hills, and there's two things that I love. At 6:00, a woman sings opera from her balcony way across the canyon. I've never seen her. I just hear her, and it's magical. And then somebody bangs a pot at 6:00, which is cocktail time.
Is that you? That's you banging the pot.
That's not me. There's another joke I invented. Who do you call when your car breaks down in Canada?
Ghostbusters.
Not a bad guess. The quadruple A. You call the triple A. I realized the joke didn't work because it's called the CAA in Canada, the Canadian Auto Association. So they didn't really know what the AAA was. But it works if you really, break it down.
Jokes are really funny when you have to explain them.
I don't disagree, and I think it's kind of funny that I think your delivery was funny. I appreciate that.
My favorite meme that I saw recently, and I only kind of still vaguely understand what a meme is, but it says, your drunk name is your first name and your last name, which really makes me laugh.
Okay, that's really funny.
It's really funny, right?
Yeah, I think that's really funny.
The kids on the internet they can be really funny.
Oh, kids these days.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? The world's coming apart, but our chat is coming together. Thanks for caring about what I have to say. I hope I didn't completely let you down, or whoever it is that invested the time in this.
I love talking to you.
I appreciate that. Bye-bye.
Bye. Your thumb.
What?
Thanks for listening to Adaptation. Join us next week for our conversation with literary agent Jillian Davis.